Throughout U.S. history, federal policies have been central to helping rural communities thrive. But the tools and programs in place today are outdated, fragmented, and inadequate for the 21st century pressures facing today's rural America. The current state of federal assistance is head-spinning. There are more than 400 programs available to rural communities for economic and community development, spread across 13 departments, 10 independent agencies, and over 50 offices and sub-agencies. And 14 different congressional committees are responsible for the legislation that governs these programs. For broadband alone, rural places must decide among almost 20 different programs spread across 7 different agencies. Put all this together, and this convoluted web of programs has become so baffling for rural communities to navigate that these programs serve too few communities with too few resources. So, how can Congress and the Biden administration modernize federal policy to deliver for rural America? First, for rural policy to be successful in the 21st century, there needs to be a mindset shift. This means no longer just equating rural policy with farm policy. Rural America is diverse, both demographically and economically. People of color comprise 24% of the rural population and help drive rural population growth. Agriculture now accounts for less than 6% of total rural jobs. Rural areas have higher self-employment rates than urban areas, and most of their growth is in service sectors like trade, transportation, and hospitality. Federal policy must change to reflect this. Second, the administration and Congress must improve coherence across the government. As an important first step, the Biden administration can create a national rural strategy. This would put forth a unified policy vision and reinforce the importance of rural communities to the national economy. The president's creation of a position on rural affairs at the Domestic Policy Council has brought welcome White House attention. But different agencies must continue to work together to coordinate their efforts and reduce barriers for rural communities to access their resources. Over the long term, the likelihood of success will increase dramatically by establishing a high-level White House office that has the stature and resources it needs to be effective and outlive any one presidential administration. Third, Congress must modernize the way it invests in rural communities. This means targeting places that need the most help. It means providing support for staff and technical expertise at the local level. And above all, it means finding ways to award substantial, long-term, flexible block grants directly to rural communities to support their local solutions, similar to the Rural Partnership Program proposed last year. There will be multiple opportunities as Congress considers the reauthorization of the Economic Development Administration and the 2023 Farm Bill. Finally, bipartisan support and leadership will be crucial, as economic renewal in vulnerable places won't happen overnight. We need champions on both sides of the aisle to build momentum that sustains these reforms and modernizations. Intentional and ambitious federal leadership can create the conditions for success in rural areas by embracing their diversity, knowledge, and local assets. Doing so can help these places and the nation as a whole grow stronger, faster, and more equitably.